All right, three, two, one, and hit the record button now. Okay, hello. What's up, everybody, and welcome. I said I would come back with this. Took a minute, but hey, we got a guest for our Slammiversary today. Well, yeah, technically today, not tonight, but on this very hot Monday, 94 degrees over here. Part two, if you want to go with Slammiversary, 20th anniversary, Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it. First off, let my guest introduce himself.
Shxggy in the building. You already know the vibes. DAR Elite, man. We always out here. We stay cooking, and we here for a Slammiversary. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes, the 20th anniversary, 20 years of TNA, Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, from the Nashville Fairgrounds. I actually thought it was going to be in the Asylum building, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah, big show. A lot of things expected to see on here. Some things we didn't expect or expected. But right off the bat now, like you said, you didn't see the pre-show, right?
No, sir.
I'm just gonna run through this real fast because it's not much to talk on. But and I actually missed the first pre-show match, but I know I didn't miss anything given it was Rich Swann versus Brian Myers for the Digital Media Championship. Man, Rich Swann is falling from grace.
I feel like we say that every time we talk Impact, man.
Yeah, like it almost is hard to believe that this guy was the world champion at one point.
And just like I said the last time we said it, it was hard to believe it when he was world champion. So
I felt like they rushed it even when he got to the title. I kind of felt they rushed it. That and don't get me wrong, he was doing really good, but I didn't feel like it was his time yet. And after the whole Kenny thing, that didn't do him any favors also. So I'm just like, wow, he's fighting for the internet belt. Given that Matt Cardona is hurt right now with a torn bicep, even with him with the title, I kind of understood given that, Cardona held a belt like that and, it was meant not to take seriously, but it's kind of hard with Rich Swann given that, like, so are you going for the internet title or this belt that doesn't really, personally, I don't really think it means anything.
no.
It doesn't. And I'll just say this. I just heard the match was okay. Swan won. It's not much to talk on. But moving on from that, they also went to the reverse battle royale. Now, this I did see, and I can tell you what they had on here, which ain't much to talk on too. But who did they bring back, huh? I guess James Mitchell and one of the disciples of the new church. Slash, David Young, I think I remember, Chase Stevens, Mike Jackson, who is 72 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, they've had him on one time before, and for a guy that old, he's actually not that bad in the ring for his age, especially if he can pull up an old school and do it on the ropes or on the railing out there, and stuff. So I'll give him credit. Who else? Shira, Johnny Swinger, Zicky Dice, Steve Macklin, Shark Boy, Raj Singh, Chris Bay, Bhupinder Gahar, I think.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. Thank you. I honestly don't really know who else was honestly out there. I didn't want to see the reverse battle royale come back because to what I remember, everybody starts on the outside, then you got to get in the inside. And then when I think it comes at least like 10 people, if I'm not suspected, then whoever the final two are like,
It's a regular match.
Yeah, regular match, which I didn't think it made sense back then, and I don't really think it makes sense right now. I get you want to honor the past, but can we not honor the bad part of the past too?
That's why I was on the pre-show.
Yeah, this is why I was on the pre-show, and I'm trying to see who got in the ring. I know Chris Bay was in there first. Macklin and Shark Boy and
That's wild that they're even in that match, man. Macklin and Bay in that match. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of. I'm like, is this guy in the Bullet Club? And Macklin, who they've been somewhat pushing, well, this is the best you got for him out there. And
the nigga pinned Morrissey like 2 weeks ago, and now he's in the reverse battle royal. Like, okay.
It beat PCO like last week, if I'm not mistaken. And tried to dislocate his arm, and yeah, this is what we got for him. And this is what I remember. I know Chris Bay and Macklin ended up eliminating themselves Chris Bay eliminated himself because he did his little art of finesse move on the apron, and they both fell out of the ring. So I'm like, well, there's two people that actually kind of had something. And I just remember the final four was like David Young, Johnny Swinger, Shera, and Shark Boy.
Wow.
And then the final two was Shark Boy and Johnny Swinger.
Wow.
And then Shark Boy won with a stunner. And that was it.
Wow.
There you go. And it went like nearly 10 minutes. But yeah, it's a good thing this was on the pre-show. And I'm glad we didn't see this on the main show. So yeah, let's move on from that.
Yeah, that's riveting stuff, man.
Yeah, that's Shark Boy. Give me a hell yeah. It's the chummer. Give me a oh shell yeah. And that's the fishing line.
Yeah, man.
Shark Boy should have been the world champion at one point.
I know you love Shark Boy, man. So
yeah, man, that guy's a star. I'm telling you that Stone Cold gimmick, man, that can work anybody.
I know you love Shark Boy, so I can't tell if you're joking or not. But
it's the next world champion. But yeah, moving on. With the beginning of the show, they did have a video package looking at the early days of TNA, or Impact. Yes, 20 minutes, not 20 minutes. But yeah, the early days with footage from Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Jarrett, and Bob Ryder. I know he died a couple years ago, but basically a video package showing, when it first started, kind of to where they are right now. So that was a nice package. But the first match of the show, Ultimate X match for the X Division title, Ace Austin, Alex Zane, Kenny King, Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel, and Andrew Everett. Given that Jack Evans is injured right now, he was the replacement. Of course, it's when it comes to the X Division, you always know they got to start off the show hot, and that's what they usually do with the X Division and the Ultimate X. And you knew you was going to see a lot of crazy stuff on here. Okay, the most memorable spots I can think from here was when they did the Tower of Doom spot and Trey hitting like a Super Canadian Destroyer off the top rope. Of course, it was going to get a lot of holy shit chants. Everybody trying to climb to the the title on the Ultimate X thing. I think I remember Speedball doing like a head scissors onto Andrew Everett, knocking him all the way to the ground. What else do I remember? I know Ace and I think Bailey were like the final two up there, and Alex Zane tried to get involved, but Ace took him out, and Bailey ended up kicking him down, and Bailey hoisted himself up to win the X Division title. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I'm way over the Tower of Doom spot. It's so contrived, but that Destroyer was nuts, and yeah, it was cool. It was solid stuff. I was happy to see Andrew Everett get this spot because I like Andrew Everett. I've been following him a couple years on the Indies. I'm curious why they didn't in the first, like they put Jack Evans in there originally. And what's his name from New Japan? You said Alex Zane. Yeah, him. I'm curious why they didn't reach out to like a Petey Williams or somebody. Like, I mean, if this is 20 years Impact history, I feel like this would have been the perfect match to have like some old X. I mean, they had Kenny King in there. That makes sense. But yeah, like a Petey Williams. I don't know. Throw Christopher Daniels in there. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I thought the match was cool and everything, but it just seemed like a missed opportunity. But that's neither here nor there. I thought it was cool. I'm happy Mike Bailey won because good for him. Although, I mean, Ace Austin just won or just joined Bullet Club and he's losing already. like I don't understand that decision, but I'm not gonna be mad that Mike Bailey won. I think Mike Bailey's cool. But yeah, it just seemed weird that Ace Austin just had this big thing happen for him, and immediately we're taking the title off of him. I don't see how that makes any sense.
Well, a couple things to answer. Petey Williams actually works in WWE right now. He's a producer nowadays.
Oh my God.
I found that out not that long ago. And yeah, somebody had to show me. I'm like, wait, Petey Williams worked there? And then I had to look up he's actually there because I think he was in some pull apart on Raw, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know Petey Williams even worked over there now.
Good
Uh,
lord.
yes, I didn't know that he was a producer. Like, I was surprised to see him. I didn't know Curtis Axel was working over there. Um, I was like, did they fire him? Like, he's a producer now? I'm like, okay. Daniels, it would have made sense to bring him back, but this whole AEW thing, I don't know if they were gonna let him do it.
Yeah, we'll get
Um,
into more of that later because I'm gonna hit that point when we get there to that match. But yeah,
yeah. Yeah, Ace just joining Bullet Club doesn't make, him, even though I feel like there's too many Bullet Club members and I feel like they're just letting anybody in right now at this point. I know he was just over there in New Japan, but I didn't think it made no sense. And yeah, Alex Zane, because he betrayed him and then Bullet Club beat him up and they stole his socks then after that. Which the Bullet Club will rob you for your socks now when they beat you up. Um, and stuff. But yeah, it didn't make much sense. Like, yeah, he just joined, but now he lost the title. But honestly, I kind of wanted the belt off him anyways because he's been champion 3 times now. I think
yeah,
it's time to put him in the world title picture spot. In a way, I think it's time.
yeah. But you
Speedball,
could have did option C though, and not have him lose it.
didn't he do that before with Christian when he was there? If
Uh,
I'm not mistaken, or was I wrong on that?
I know Josh did, and that's how he beat Christian. You might be right, but yeah, he could have just did it again. I mean, if that's the idea to move him up, and that's fine. Why have him lose to do that? Like when you have the option C thing that has been a crux for this, for elevation.
True, because they could have just did that. And I'm cool with Speedball winning. Like, I got no problem with that. I feel like they probably could have had him chase Ace for the title because it looked like they had some story going on with that, but
Yeah.
it just kind of, came on and came off, and then Ace had to go to New Japan for a minute, and Best of the Super Juniors and stuff. So like, I'm not against the decision of Mike Bailey winning the title or anything with that. I was kind of expecting Ace to actually retain.
Yeah, they kind of do whatever with the X Division title nowadays. They seem to set up stuff, but then they just end up doing whatever with it. And I feel like it started back when Chris Bay won it, and then Rohit won it off of him. And then instead of this being like a falling out thing with Chris Bay, Rohit, and Chris Bay would chase, turn face, and all that, Rohit just held it forever and then lost it to, I don't even think it was Chris Bay. And like nowadays, that same thing just keeps happening. Like, and the last thing, they made a big deal about Ace Austin and Mike Bailey being friends and falling out. And then Ace Austin wins the match and he becomes champion, but there's not really any follow up to it until now. And then immediately Ace Austin gets this big storyline thing happening. So you think, okay, well now we're going to do something big with Ace Austin, and then he just loses. And it's like, well, what are we doing with this title, man? Like we gotta figure it out, man.
Yeah, because I feel like the last time the title was kind of important was when Josh had it and cashed in on option C. Because right now, I just feel like the belt just kind of revolves around, goes around just anyone right now. Even when Trey was the champion, I felt it could have been done better with him. Don't get me wrong, sending Ace Austin and New Japan was a good idea with the title because at least I can say, like, hey, Ace was really good in that tournament. And shit, he beat the damn IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. And they did book the X Division title pretty strong over there in New Japan. So, like, I wasn't mad at that. So I'm like, okay, at least they didn't make them look like a joke over there and stuff. But yeah, okay, he just comes back off of tour and joins Bullet Club and now just loses it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know. But like you said, yeah, they got to do something with that because that just didn't make any sense. Next, Scott Hudson, who they brought back. I only remember him from WCW, to be honest. Interviewed Team Impact of Alex Shelley, Sabin, Nick Alderson, Frank Kazarian, basically talking about, we got a fifth man coming in tonight to go against Honor No More. And they didn't want to give that away till later on. We also had a video package from Sting, um, basically talking about his time in TNA from Joker Sting to his matches with Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Hogan. It was cool to see Sting. I would have liked it if Sting had actually showed up, but would you call Sting like a TNA original in a way?
Yeah. I mean,
Because Sting was there for a long time, and that was one of the best times I ever saw him.
yeah, he obviously didn't originate in TNA, but TNA originated with Sting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Sting was there in the NWA TNA days, coming over from WCW because he didn't sign with WWE. You know, Hall and Nash were there and all that, and there's Sting. And what started out as like, you know, just this little rinky-dink NWA bump on NWA ended up being like its own thing, and Sting was really like the face of that for a long time. And it was funny that he was putting over Joker Sting so much in this little promo he did, but uh,
Joker
you
Sting
know,
was cool though. I like Joker.
I mean, it was alright. You know, I don't know. Joker Sting wasn't really for me, but yeah, I would definitely call Sting a TNA original. He's wasn't he was it him or Kurt Angle that was the first TNA Hall of Famer?
Sting was Sting.
Yeah, and well deserved because yeah,
And he really did help elevate the company to get as high as it could and whatnot. And he was a huge part of it. And stuff from his time there, from whatever gimmick you can go from him, like say from just being Sting or maybe Mafia Sting or Joker Sting. Like I said, I know the Joker Sting is debatable. Yes, I know it had to do with the whole Dark Knight movie, Dark Knight Returns coming out at the time and stuff, but in his way, I felt like he kind of made it work. I personally thought it was funny. Yes, I can admit it was over the top, but some of that shit he did was pretty funny. Like the one with Bobby Roode, like follow the yellow brick road to
yeah.
victory road. So guess what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna kick the
I
living crap.
remember that promo very, very vividly.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It's showtime. No, follow the yellow brick road. It's showtime. Showtime. No, 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 no. Ta-ta for now. See you at Victory Road. Oh! He throws the microphone his nuts then, and so yeah, and stuff. But yeah, I always thought that was funny. But yeah, it was cool to see Sting. Even just have a video package there. Like I said, given his time, he was a very huge part of the company.
Now you
Uh,
said it would have been cool to see Sting later, and like I said earlier, we'll get to that. But
oh, we're gonna get to
yeah,
it. Next though, Madison Rain and Tennille Dashwood went against Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie for the Knockouts tag team titles. Um, it wasn't a bad match, but I'm kind of surprised to even see Rosemary and Taya win. Now, yes, they were a team for a minute a couple years ago before Taya left the company to go to NXT, but I
and
know they
rivals
just
before that.
yeah, they were rivals too beforehand before they came, the whole reluctant tag partners and everything. But given
Wrestle
Taya
House.
Wrestle House, yeah, please don't remind me of that. That went on forever. I get it was the pandemic, but still, and stuff. But given that Taya just came back, they literally just reformed this team like literally last week, and I felt there was not a lot of build to this match in general. Like, yeah, they literally just got back together and then they won. So I was actually kind of surprised to see. It felt rushed to me.
Sure. I guess they just wanted to do a little feel good moment, you know, for the sake of the pay per view. It was alright. It was it was more to get all these women on the card, and at least they were on the card. I didn't think the match was like spectacular or anything, but last time they were on the pre-show and all that, and I think before that they were on the pre-show too. So it's cool that they got on here, and Madison's a Impact OG. The easily, I don't even think it's debatable that she was the best worker in the Beautiful People. Um, so it's cool that she's here. I mean, she lost, whatever, but just to get everybody here on the card, have a title change, just to get a feel good moment on the pay per view, it was fine. And
Agreed. I felt it could have been a little bit more, but it was an okay match. But I can understand your point of a feel good moment. It just felt kind of rushed to me at the same time. But given it was this type of show, I can understand in some way also. Next, we had a video from Kurt Angle. Also, thanking everybody, in Impact TNA for his time there, which, once again, Kurt Angle, I wouldn't call Kurt Angle an original there, but shit, Kurt Angle's career was longer there than it was in WWE. And I'll tell you right now, Kurt Angle was a monster in TNA. There's a reason why they damn near called him a cyborg. And I know what is it, the meme or the term perk angle always comes into play. Kurt Angle is just a motherfucking monster down there. Okay, from matches like I said with AJ to Christian to Abyss to Sting to Bobby Lashley to Samoa Joe, especially Samoa Joe. Just main event Mafia. Kurt Angle was a beast down there in TNA. Like I said, and he was there for a very long time, but Kurt Angle had some of the best matches on there. And I know I may be missing names of people he's gone against. I just named a few, but yeah, Kurt Angle was just was on another level in TNA, on a way different other level than he was.
See, that's why, like, just like Sting, I would still call Kurt Angle a TNA OG, because I mean, he took the banner. He was already established, just like Sting. He was already established somewhere else, but once he came to TNA, he became something completely different. He was on a whole other level than what he was doing in WWE. Like right at the time he came from WWE was when he started becoming that other level. When he was wrestling Machine Kurt Angle, and he's feuding with John Cena. He won the world title on SmackDown, and then he had the triple threat at WrestleMania with Ray, and and then he came like right at the time he was becoming that next level. Kurt Angle is when he went to TNA, and so that reinvention, like you say, I mean, quote unquote, Perk Angle, Cyborg Kurt. I have no problem calling him a TNA OG, because he wasn't being WWE Kurt Angle. Just he was, this man leveled up, and all the feuds you mentioned, like my man was going crazy in TNA. And in fact, I mean, just like Sting, just like the Dudleys, it's not just they came from somewhere else, so I'm not going to say they're OG. It's more like, what did you do when you got to TNA? Bobby Lashley, I'd say that too. Like, if you reinvented yourself, if you really became who you became in TNA, then I have no problem calling you OG.
Yeah, this wasn't like you said, these guys weren't just stopping by for a cup of coffee. Like these guys really did help elevate the company, like you said, reinvent themselves and became something bigger than they were before in their previous company and stuff. And yes, you can say TNA, Kurt Angle was a TNA original because he was in the company for at least like 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
if you were in the video game, you were OG.
Oh yeah, the video game definitely, because Kurt got there like about 06, if I'm not mistaken. And like you said, like this dude really reinvented himself and became this wasn't the same like comedy Kurt Angle. Like you said, it did kind of transition from his time as a wrestling machine near the end of his WWE run, going into his TNA run. But yeah, like the shit he did over there, like his matches was just damn near fantastic. Because even I said myself when he was there, cause I damn near thought he was the best wrestler in the world at one point, when he was over there and stuff. So yeah, Kurt was just on a way different level. So like I said, it was nice to hear him also. Like, and I know we say it would have been great if he showed up, but yeah, like just kind of talking about some of the work he did down there was just fucking fantastic. But next we move on to Moose versus Sami Callihan in a Monsters Ball. They had to lock these guys up in a dark room without any food or water for 24 hours for some reason. I didn't really understand the point of that part, but
I feel like that's old school. Didn't they say that before? What was it, the boiler room brawl with Undertaker, man? They did that for some feud back in the day. I don't remember what one, but they said that they locked them away with no food or water, whatever it was. But so it might have just been a throwback to that. But yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, probably with. I think it's something to do with Mankind. I don't know probably who else, but I think you may be right on that. I will say this: this match was insane. Some may be a fan of this, some may not. Given like I said, when it comes to hardcore matches, sometimes they can either be good or they can be bad. Callihan, when it comes to him and these monster ball matches, especially at Slammiversary, because in the past we had seen him go against Kenny Omega in a Monsters Ball, also
Yep.
Pentagon Jr., and I
Yep.
thought those was great. And I feel like this was another one that was great also, which honestly I thought was one of the best things of the night in a way, because you saw a lot of stuff in there, just from trash cans to a barbed wire door, water. What else? It was a lot of crazy stuff in this match. I'm just trying to go back and name it, but thumbtacks. Which personally, I kind of get tired of thumbtacks nowadays. I just feel like everybody does that. But what I remember, Moose like hit him with like a sky high power bomb onto the thumbtacks that looked insane.
Yeah.
Callihan hitting like a Death Valley driver through the board. Um, then they start hitting each other with trash can lids and stuff, which they both went down. Callihan a power driver, but it did not work. And I know he's gonna do it again on the thumbtacks, but Moose low blowed him. And I know Callihan a power bombing Moose onto the trash can, side up. So like the trash can didn't even break. It was like just almost like trying to impale him in a way onto the onto the trash can. And I know Callihan up in another power driver, which Moose kicked out at one and basically hyped himself up. Fans chanted Moose, but Callihan hit him with like a barbed wire baseball bat a couple times. One more package power driver and end up winning the match. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot.
I loved it. And I tell you what, man, it seemed like this was all killer, no filler, man. Right when this match started to the end of this show, it was all just big matches. There was is they didn't give you any time to breathe, and I really love that. That it just went from this match to the tag title match to the nostalgia trip to Queen of the Mountain to the world title. Like it just boom, 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 boom. And it started at this match, and I thought this match was fire. People need to start checking for Moose, man, because Moose is racking up just bangers over here. I mean, one of his match with Josh at Rebellion is on my match of the year list, man. Like Moose over here, he's cooking, man, and people need to recognize that he's showing he can do all these different styles and everything. Like you said, this is probably one of the best things on the show tonight. Yeah, I thought it was fire, man. No complaints from me at all.
Oh yeah, I thought it was great. Like I'm not the biggest fan of hardcore matches because I feel like it's just too many of them nowadays. But these are one of those ones that I feel like really, really works and it makes sense. And I enjoyed it. And I thought both these guys beat the hell out of each other. I hope we get more of this Callahan than hacking, trying to be like the Watch Dogs video game Callahan because I thought the teleporting thing was kind of getting a little bit silly and stuff. So
Facts.
this is the Callahan I like to see more gritty, the whole death machine and stuff. Not doing your best Watch Dogs impression because you played the game and use your phone to hack everything. And I just thought that was getting silly at the time.
Agree.
Uh, I thought it was a great match. Next, the tag team titles on the line: the Briscoe brothers versus the Good Brothers. Carl Anderson being the never open weight champion. He won the title last week from Tom and Tonga, so we saw that belt out there. Um, I don't think this was a bad tag match, but there was no need for the Good Brothers to win the tag titles back. Now, I heard about their contracts. I don't know if they were done tonight or if they re-signed because I know a lot of people bringing up that clip. I think it was from New Japan about Carl Anderson saying like, I'm not going to turn it up for 200 people in the building, but I'll do it if it's like 1,000 something people like it was at Dominion last week. I personally didn't think they needed to win the tag titles back because I even got to the point where they were just holding the belts hostage because I'm like, I didn't feel there was no reason for the Good Brothers to win. I actually thought the Briscoes were going to retain. So I'm surprised that they actually lost. And, then right after they brought out America's Most Wanted, James Storm and Braden Walker. No, I mean Chris Harris.
Hmm.
Wrong guy. Which they brought out beer. Storm came out saying, there's two things, I like, especially with teams, is fighting and drinking. 'Y'all done fighting, so how about some drinking? And everybody grabbed a beer. And then Storm came out saying, "Oh, there's two things, I like, especially with teams, is fighting and drinking. Y'all done fighting, so how about some drinking?" And everybody grabbed a beer. And then Storm came out saying, "Oh, there's two things, I like, especially with teams, is fighting and drinking. Y'all done fighting, so how about some drinking?" And everybody grabbed a beer. hair's out of water because somebody's got to be the designated driver. And basically, Storm went on to talk about, everybody talk about this company wouldn't last a day or a week or a month, but it lasted 20 years. And, basically telling all the doubters that sorry about your damn luck.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you said. I pretty much have two complaints about this match. One being what you said, that I don't think the Good Brothers should have won, and they had like five more bars left anyway. Like right when that Magic Killer hit, that should have been a kick out or a breakout, and then we go into the next gear. But it kind of just ended. But my other complaint, and seeing that America's Most Wanted came out, kind of justified why this didn't happen. But I'm looking at the tag match later, the Honor No More tag match, and spoiler alert, I did actually love that match in the end, but I'm like, why? I mean, this is Impact's 20th anniversary. Why is this not the Briscoes versus the Guns for the tag team titles? Like, to me, that makes like that should have been the match here. And again, with America's Most Wanted coming out and how all that went down, it makes more sense that they went with the Good Brothers, and then you could put the Guns in that nostalgia match. But I was just like, man, this if they put the Guns right here, man, against the Briscoes for this tag title match, that would have just been insane, bro. Like, but say la vie. I thought the match was fine, but right when I thought it could have kicked into the next gear, it just ended, and I didn't think the Good Brothers should have won, but it was all right. The moment was cool afterwards with the America's Most Wanted, so it is
I
what it is.
I actually thought they were going to go for the tag titles next. I thought they were going to be next in line for the titles with America's Most Wanted being back. That's what I kind of thought what was going to happen, but nah, they just ended up drinking, celebrating. But yeah, I thought this could have went on another 5 minutes, and I just didn't want to see the Good Brothers win again. I didn't think there
Nope.
was need to. I don't know if they signed a new deal. I'm not sure, but I really didn't think they need to win. I know some people say, well, the Briscoes it just came in, they up winning the tag titles, but
It's the fucking Briscoes, bro.
it's the fucking Briscoes at the same time. No, okay, I know there's the term of bringing people in from somewhere else and then they immediately win the gold. Yes, I've heard that 1,000 times, but this is kind of different in a way. I felt like the Briscoes' reign could have went on a little bit longer. So I actually was kind of surprised that they lost the tag titles here.
They didn't do nothing.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, who did they face other than Violent by Design? Yeah, who did they really face?
And
Who
they
else did they
lost one
beat?
of those weeks. Like, yeah,
Good
that's
question.
trash, man.
Yeah, who did they really beat? Like they didn't really beat anybody. So I didn't think. Yeah, that was just. I just didn't like what was going on here. Next, they also had a video package for Mike Tenay and Don West. Basically, you could say that both of these two are the voices of TNA. I really wish they would have brought back Mike Tenay. You
I'm
know,
surprised they didn't.
yeah, I'm really surprised. I don't wish they would have. I know Don West is going through some health problems right now. Which they did address. I know he's got like I think it's like brain lymphoma. I know it went away, but unfortunately, it came back. So he's still fighting, and they plugged the GoFundMe page to just donate money to help Don West. I've always liked Mike Tenay and Don West.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed them on commentary. I really did enjoy them on commentary though. But Mike Tenay just kind of disappeared from the company. I felt back in like 2015 once they went to like Destination America, and he was only kind of back a handful of times, and he was just kind of quietly gone. So I really thought they would have brought him back for the 20th anniversary. The last time I saw Don West was I think during the 15th anniversary, and he actually was there on commentary that year. 'Cause I remember they had him plugging commercials to sell the TNA merch and whatnot. But
Yeah.
like I'm glad they did acknowledge both of them and stuff. Like I said, they were a big part of the company. I loved them on commentary and stuff. But yeah, they could have brought back Mike Tenay back for one night only though. It would have been enjoyable if they brought him in.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him, man, because he pretty much just disappeared from the business. Like, much like Tony Schiavone did until AEW came into the fold. Like, they just poof and just went away, man. But yeah, man, I couldn't help but getting emotional watching this, man, knowing everything that's going on with Don West, man. And this actually perfectly leads into the next match. But yeah, I watched this video package. I was like, man, this was TNA for me, man. When I started really getting into it after I saw that triple threat match with Daniel Styles and Joe, that's
Yeah,
when I became a fan. And they were the voice of TNA, man, for years and years and years before the Josh Matthews and JBs. And yeah, man, I'm like, yeah, this the duo right here, man. This is my Michael Cole and Taz for TNA, you know?
oh, most definitely, most definitely. Because yeah, you got a point though. Yeah, Mike just kind of disappeared from the business. I think he does something in Vegas. I don't know if it's like podcasting or um commentating for something over there. But like I said, he just kind of disappeared. Like the only time, and like they say, he barely talks on Twitter. Like the only recently I've seen is just help support Don West, with his medical funds right now. So I feel like that's the only time I really heard him recently, at least earlier in the month, off of Twitter. But yeah, but most definitely, very great commentary team and stuff. And I'm glad they did acknowledge them. Next, Scott D'Amore came out, Team Canada flag, as they were getting ready to set up the Honor No More versus Impact Originals match. Christy Hemme was the ring announcer. She was back. Earl Hebner was in the crowd. Rest in peace to his brother Dave Hebner, who died over the weekend, and also rest in peace to Tim White. Referee also. Two referees I think a lot of people know. What if you watched the WWE and that and stuff. Those two I do definitely remember. I think I remember a little bit more of Tim White though and stuff, being a referee back then. But I'm glad they did acknowledge them. I know Brian Hebner. I think this is his last night in the company, by the way, as a referee. So I know they did acknowledge that. But as you know, Honor No More came out first. The rest of Team Impact came out, and who was going to be the fifth man, huh? Well, first we had Dixie Carter, former TNA president, basically thanking everybody for 20 years in this company and thanking all the staff and the wrestlers that have been there. And basically, she announced the fifth member, which was Davey Richards, which I don't know if I would really call him an original, to be honest. You got anything to say before I kind of explain the rest of the match, though? Just this part.
Uh, I'm gonna do a whole thing at the end, so you can go ahead.
Okay, let's go. All right, let's go through the match then. Honestly, this is a very good match. I enjoyed it. You knew you was gonna get a lot of stuff coming out of this match, especially with the Wolves kind of being out there against each other. So in a storyline way, yeah, having Davey Richards, because I know he just got back into wrestling. I think at least about a year or two ago. 'Cause I know he had left and he was a paramedic and he just stopped, but then he came back. I know he's part of MLW nowadays, so they probably just loaned him out for tonight. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. There was a lot going on because I know what Maria got on the apron, and Tracy Brooks, Kazarian's wife. I guess you could say also a TNA original. Knock her off the apron, and PCO was about to do a power bomb on her, but Kaz came back with the flux capacitor, which is taking them forever trying to take out PCO. But
That
Saban
was
tried.
scary.
Yeah, yeah, they got to hit everything with at PCO, but Saban tried to cover him. But then Kenny King came out and he attacked Saban. D'Lo Brown came out with the Aces and Eights jacket and hit the Sky High. Right after he ended up doing the low down, almost kind of slipped going on the top rope, but I popped when D-Lo. Wow, I'm getting my names messed up today. D-Lo hit the Sky High. I thought that was cool. Earl Hebner's jumping the barricade and then trying to get his son up then. And then, they're trying to set up PCO for the cradle shock. The OGK gets in the ring. They get super kicked right after that. Saban hit the cradle shock. Earl Hebner, who puts on a TNA referee shirt, gets in the ring. 1, 2, 3. The originals end up winning the match as both Earl and Brian look up to the heavens, in tribute to Earl's brother Dave.
Yeah, man, this is likely going to end up on my match of the year list, and really has nothing to do with the moves that were done in the match, but literally everything surrounding it. Like first, like I said, they did the video package for Mike Tenay and Don West, right? And right after that, we go into this match, and I'm already feeling like emotional going into this match after the like, because I'm like, dang, Don West and everything going on, and seeing him and Mike Tenay together, being like, this is crazy. And then we go into legit a nostalgic trip match. Positives all throughout this match, but I am going to complain just a little bit because you're absolutely right. Why was Davey Richards the man that was the last man? If anything, Davey Richards should have already been announced on their team and just throw Nick Aldis away altogether. Right? Like if you had the night that Nick Aldis got announced or whatever, you could have just had Davey Richards run in and it not be Nick Aldis. And then on this night, it'd be like a Sting or RVD or like somebody like that, man. Because when he came out, I was like, oh man, it makes perfect sense for it to be Davey Richards. He should be on this team. He's got history with Eddie and Ring of Honor. But man, really, Davey Richards is who we've been hyping up. Because when James Storm came out earlier, I was like, oh shit, it's not James Storm. Then who is it? Like,
I agree.
and it ended up being I'm like, yeah, it makes perfect sense for it to be Davey Richards storyline wise, kayfabe wise, but as as the guy that you built this around, as the guy who's the fifth man, brother, like the guy you made this a secret and you built it up so much, and I'm like, God, I love Davey Richards, but Davey Richards, really? Like, it's not even
It's
like
not
I don't
TNA
know,
original.
bro. It's not gonna be an AJ or anything, but it couldn't be a Lethal or a Joe or like
Agreed.
really. But that's really my only negative, because man, I love this match so much. Everything that happened was just a love letter to TNA, man. Like I know Dixie's gonna have a lot of haters, but it was cool that she came out and she said her piece. She didn't like drag on or anything. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it's cool seeing Dixie. And then all the TNA originals and Nick Aldis come out, and then David Richards comes out, and the match gets going, and the pace is like insane. They're wrestling a match like old school X Division TNA, man, and they're just going a mile a minute, and then whoa, I didn't even shout out Christy Hemme. Shout out Christy Hemme, bro. I forgot that fast because everything was just going on at once.
Yep.
Like
D'Lo
we go
Brown.
straight from the Don West and Mike Tenay joint to Christy Hemme in the ring, and I'm like, what? This is TNA, bro.
They were
This
bringing people back.
and she sounded great. She looked amazing. She sounded better than the dude they got now, bro. So y'all need to rethink that.
Yeah, Dave Penzer, because Dave Penzer was there before. Let's remember he was kind of there. Throughout the time in TNA, not through the early days, but he was there for a while. Because come on, Dave Penzer goes all the way back to WCW, also being the ring announcer and stuff. But
Yeah, but he don't hit like he need to be hitting, man, for these big moments. So the fact that they had Christy here, I thought was fire. Right after they introduced Christy, out come the guns, and I'm like, this is it, bro. You had the whole overbooking, definitely overbooking, but you had the whole thing go down with Earl getting the pin, D'Lo hitting the sky high, he hit the fucking low down because he didn't do it on Thursday. I'm like, oh, can he not do it? And then he did it, and I'm like, yo, what? This match, like I said, it wasn't even about the moves. It was just the vibe, man.
oh yeah, just
Going straight
nostalgia.
from that video package, bro, all the way to the very end where like you said, Earl and Brian are looking up to the heavens, and I'm like, bro, that whole block of time from that video package to the end of this match was just I got no complaints. I mean, the Davey Richards thing, the Nick Aldis thing, okay, but yeah, man, if you put a Sting in this position or something, then this would have been perfect. But I
Oh
still
yeah,
loved it anyway.
I definitely agreed almost basically everything you just said on this. Yeah, like I said with Davey, it's like yeah, I don't look at him as an original. Like I said, from a storyline with the whole Eddie thing, okay, kind of makes sense, but I'm like, y'all couldn't brought no one else bigger, and even Magnus is like, yeah, Magnus was there, but come on, like, does anybody really look at Magnus as an original in a way, or like they really could have got some bigger names, and yes, it was cool to see some people like Dixie. It's like you said, yeah, as much flack Dixie gets, and I know some of it is rightfully so for a lot of stuff she's done in the past. I'll
Oh,
give her
definitely.
credit. I'll give her credit for like one thing. I know at least she did what she could to keep the company afloat with money because I remember I think her family ended up cutting her off the paying the energy and mostly she had to keep TNA alive on her own. money and stuff until, I think the whole Billy Corgan or Anthem thing happened. So I
Yep.
give Dixie a little bit of credit because trust me, there was a lot of decisions you could sit here and go over of that were damn near asinine or some of the shit she has said in the past and stuff. But like
Yeah.
I said, you got to give her credit for at least doing her best to keep the company alive at the time. But yeah, it was
And
cool
that
to see.
table bump.
Oh yeah, yeah, with Bully Ray, yeah, that was great. That's still one of the best things to watch. That was great. Give her credit for that also. But yeah, it was cool to see D'Lo. I don't care much for aces and eights because I know a lot of people used to make the joke aces and 0.8s given the ratings they were drawing in at the time.
Mm.
And aces and eights, like it started off okay at first, but then when it kind of came to some of the members, as the story went on, it just kind of, I don't know, not one of the best things that I remember. Such your aces and eights, like yeah, let's bring Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff back. I'm like, you couldn't bring Bully Ray, like at least he was the leader. Like we couldn't bring no one else that was somewhat of a bigger name in aces and eights. I'm like dude, I didn't know Briscoe or Bischoff was still even wrestling at this point. To be honest. Bischoff, I have no idea what he's doing. Some people think Wes Briscoe could have got a job in AEW right now, because I think somebody brought up to me, well, he's with Red Velvet, so he could have got a job easily there. I'm like, really? Like, I don't know about that, but
Oh my
uh,
gosh, that's who. Oh my gosh.
apparently so. To what I heard, that's actually true.
I knew she was with a white dude, which is just but I didn't know it was West fucking Briscoe.
Yeah, I think
Oh
that
my
is true. Like,
gosh.
yeah, she's with Wes Briscoe.
Girl, you might as well have dated me, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Cause I got look, I'm like, this who she with for real? Folks here, this who she with for real. I'm like,
Golly.
I heard she was like you said, I heard she was with a white dude, but like, yeah, I know it was actually him, and I'm like, really, like, because even I said like, let me go to Twitter and look and see like photos, and yeah, I think there is photos of both of them. So yeah, yeah, that's who she's with. Um,
Man, shout out to Bianca Belair, man, because all the I don't know what's up with all these black women in wrestling who just don't want to date black dudes, bro. Like,
yeah, I see you do see yeah, that's true, motherfucker. I see that live in person, even when it comes to like fans. It's like a lot of black girls with white dudes. Like I've seen it in person.
golly, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know sometimes. Like I'm not bothered that much, but it makes me wonder. Just
Yeah.
question a lot of things. But yeah, but no. Overall though, this was fun to watch, and it was cool to see just a lot of the originals come back, and Earl Hebner and everybody. So I enjoyed this, but yeah, I would have replaced the two people that were called into this match. Next, AJ Styles had a video package. Basically telling everybody, happy anniversary, talking about him and Jerry Lynn and Low Key going against the Flying Elvises back then, the first show in Huntsville, Alabama. Basically talking about the unbreakable match between Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, the triple threat. And, talking about, with the X division, there was, weight limits, there was no limits. And, thanking Impact because he would not be where he is right now without them. And, even thank WWE for even allowing him to do this video because it meant a lot to him. And yes, it was great to see AJ Styles because AJ Styles is definitely a TNA original, especially for the time he put in over there. Like I said, multi-time world champion, X Division champion, tag team champion. It's a lot you can go on a long list when it comes to AJ Styles. Okay, I personally enjoyed when he was doing the Evo Ways gimmick at the time. That was one of my favorite versions of him in TNA and stuff. So, just the fact that he was even to get him for a video package and that even the WWE let him do this, it was great to see. So I was like, this is AJ. It's like one of the fucking faces of the company at the
Yeah, you
time.
talk about your Stings and your Kurt Angles, man. Like this is the TNA OG right here, man. He's legit top three my favorite wrestlers of all time. And it would not have felt right at all if he didn't send something in because he is the TNA GOAT, man. Like there have been more legendary wrestlers who've come and gone from TNA, yeah. But like you talk TNA, you're talking AJ Styles, man.
This is
Like
day one. That's day one.
Day one, man, face of the company, man. And shout out to you for saying the evil ways, AJ. We came out with the hoodie and everything. He
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
talking to nobody. Like AJ Styles is my dude, bro. He's been my dude for decades now, man.
oh hell yeah.
So it's yeah, man. This was cool. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just try and be happy and respectful that he said, "Shout out to WWE for letting me do this." Because he said it on his own and not because they told him to say that. So, I thought it was dope that he was there, showed up in the way that he could. And yeah, man, like that's the OG right there, man.
Oh yes, most definitely. Because I was glad they was able to get a video package from him. Because trust me, I wish I would have saw. I wish they would have had like more of video packages of a lot of other guys that were in the company. It would have been nice to hear from Joe or a Daniels or even Jeff Jarrett. Like I said, that guy was the founder of the company too. Like I know he probably can't, given that he does work with WWE nowadays and stuff, and everything. And again, I think him and Anthem still don't probably get along, if I'm not mistaken, after what happened last time. So I can probably understand that. But yeah, this guy was he was the founder. Okay, he was the one that started it. I was actually kind of surprised we didn't hear a video package from him. I may call him a snake oil salesman a lot, but he did start this company though.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, now that you mentioned it, Jeff Jarrett not having a little video package or something, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was surprised he didn't have one. But like I said, after what happened last time with him and Anthem and why they had to get rid of him, which, had to be and stuff because of the whole, the global force thing. Don't remind me of that part. I guess they probably still ain't on good terms, but yeah, I would have expected him to at least say something because, I still think the guy's a snake oil salesman. But um, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't hear none from him. Next, though, the Queen of the Mountain match. Tasha Steeles, Deanna Perrazzo, Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, Mia Yim, Mickey James was the special enforcer, and this is for the Knockouts title. Honestly, I never thought the King of the Mountain match never made much sense to me in the past, and it doesn't make much sense to me right now, given that you have to pin someone, falls count anyway, by the way, and then they go into the penalty box for like 2 minutes, and because once you pin that person, they become eligible. You put the title, you got to climb the ladder and put the title on the strap up there and everything. So I never really thought it made much sense to me. King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain, same thing. And the match wasn't bad or anything. Like I said, everybody worked hard out there. Couple rough spots. I will say that, especially when it came to power bombs on the ladder. Or I know Mickey James that kept getting involved in the match several times. I think the hardest looking bump out of this match was when Deanna and Chelsea Green went through the table, and I swear to God, one of them hit their head on the floor. That's what I felt would happen, but I guess not. But they hit the ground hard. Okay,
It
but
looked that way to me too. When I just saw this, you're talking about Chelsea. Yeah, it looked that way.
and I feel like Deanna kind of covered herself at the last second. I think Chelsea, like, she took up most of the fall right there, and Deanna was able to kind of break her fall at the last second. But yeah, that was just like a hard bump. Going towards the end of it, I think what Jordan Grace ended up pinning Tasha Steeles to go into the box, and she ended up climbing the ladder to become the new Knockouts champion, which I personally felt this was random to change the title here.
um, all right. Well, before I get into that, a couple things. Why didn't they just put Mickey in the match?
Great
Like,
question.
I guess
She was the she wasn't she the last champion anyways?
yeah, before Tasha. Yeah.
Yeah, because Tasha was the one to beat her. So I'm like, why couldn't they just throw her in the match? Why does she need to be a special enforcer? It
And
didn't
they
make sense.
literally like put over on commentary how she's had feuds with three of the people in this match. Why did you just put her in the match? Like I don't get it. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, I thought because at one point, like she gets knocked out right by Chelsea Green. I think she hit her with the cage door. and Mickey's on the ground, and I'm like, oh well, Gail Kim or somebody is going to come out and be the new enforcer or something. But that literally went nowhere. Mickey just got up later, and that was that was that. Like, okay, fine. Nobody even took advantage. Like, refused to get in the box while Nikki was down. Like, it just okay. All right. They just put that spot in just because. So I mean, Mickey being the enforcer. Well, okay, I'll take that back because I forgot that she cost Chelsea the match later on. Chelsea was going to win and she pulled her off. But you could have just had Mickey in the match and just do that spot anyway, like regardless of her being the enforcer. But I thought the match was all right. I I actually don't mind Jordan Grace winning at all because Jordan Grace is on a whole other level outside of Deanna than everybody else in this match. Like, so like when we talk about who should be champion, the face of a division, it should be the ones, in my opinion, who are better than everyone else. And I love Tasha Steelz a lot, but I'm like, look, you got Masha Slamovich coming up. If she's coming up for a title shot, you need to just put this on somebody who's about to have a crazy ass match with her. And I don't think it's going to be Tasha Steele. So, you know, it is what it is. The match was cool. I actually don't mind in terms of all the ridiculous TNA stipulation matches. I think this is one of the less egregious ones. I don't think it's the reverse battle royal or feast or fire or
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I think this one is, it's still one of the more ridiculous ones, but it's not on the level of like those. I think it's fine, and I think the story of the match being the match type and everything surrounding it, I thought worked really well. It was cool, and I don't like I said I don't mind Jordan winning at all, especially if Bound for Glory we're getting Slammiversary versus Jordan Grace. So yeah,
Okay. But yeah, made a lot of points there. Given that I feel like they haven't really had Jordan Grace do anything right now until winning the title, hopefully just puts in a better spot because she was just kind of around and they weren't really doing much with her in general. Yeah, Tasha's time as the champion wasn't bad per se. I feel like Savannah Evans just kind of disappeared out of this match later on from just kind of disappeared randomly.
she got
Uh,
ejected.
Oh yeah, she got ejected. That's right. They did throw her out. But yeah, Tasha's time as the champion, it wasn't bad. I felt like she could have had at least some better matches in her reign that could have been more of a focal part. It's not like she didn't put on bad matches, but some would kind of wonder, is like, yeah, she's winning, so it's not like she was ever gonna lose and stuff. So I thought her reign was okay and everything because looking at everybody else in the match, like I know they weren't gonna give it back to Deanna. Deanna was champion for damn near forever at one point,
A
and it was
year,
just
right?
yeah, and breaking everybody's arms. Chelsea Green, I figured they weren't gonna do. Um, who else?
Mia Yim.
Yeah. Mia Yim just got back, so I knew she wasn't about to win. She just got back. Yeah, she was here before, but she just got back into the company and stuff. So, I can like I'm okay with the decision. Like I say, especially if it's gonna lead into Masha versus Jordan Grace at Bound for Glory, depending how long they built that up. I could see that happening because at first I was kind of like, okay, it's kind of random to, you know, Jordan Grace to win because I just kind of thought like I kind of figured Tasha was gonna, retain the title again.
You're not wrong. I fully expected Tasha to retain, and Jordan winning is hella random considering where she was on the card like a week ago, you know. But I mean, she's fighting for the digital media championship and all that. So yeah, you're not wrong saying it was random. I'm just saying, like, if the plan is that Masha is going to be down the line contending for this title, it needs to be on like a Jordan Grace.
That's true. I guess that's a good point. Especially if they're gonna build towards that, because yeah, they're already building Masha like a buzzsaw. Yeah, they're already building her as a buzzsaw and whatnot. So I could see the plan being that, but I'm sure at some point you're probably gonna do a rematch with Tasha and Jordan Grace anyway. So we'll see what happens with that. Um, Next, I know they had Goldilocks, former TNA backstage interviewer, which they interviewed Gail Kim. Obviously a TNA original and legend.
Go.
Yeah, definitely a GOAT right there. Basically, just talking about the company and everything they have done in the past 20 years, because Gail Kim was the first ever Knockouts champion in 2007. And like I said, multi-time Knockouts champion and stuff. So she had to be on the show too, because we already know she works behind the scenes in the company, but she had to show up also. But now we get to the main event, the world title on the line. Um, and I wish they would have had Jeremy Borash back for one night, because I know he works behind the scenes in NXT nowadays, but it would have been good to see him do the introduction, the reign for both Eric Young and Josh Alexander, which Josh Alexander's gear was kind of a mixture of Kurt Angle's main event Mafia gear. I think it had a little bit of AJ Styles in it and Samoa Joe's gear, like all mixed up into one. So that was pretty cool to see. And this match, you could say it was a TNA finisher fest, okay? From Josh doing BME, the best moonsault ever, to Eric Young doing the stroke, which is Jeff Jarrett's move, doing the black hole slam, Abyss's move. Also, you go hitting his own BME. Josh doing the Styles Clash out there, which was crazy. Which he went for an ankle locked in, but Diener like threw some yellow powder into Brian Hebner's eyes, and Eric Young's tapping out. So I guess we had a ref bump here. And then, Diener and Joe Doring get involved. Alexander's taking them out. He ended up in a big angle slam onto Joe Doring onto the table. Looks like they almost missed that, by the way. Diener's got
That
the
was scary as hell, man.
that was I'm like, dang, almost missed the table. Diener's got the violent by design flag. Josh has got the Canadian flag, what looks like a hockey stick, and he hits Diener with. Eric Young, Jeff Jarrett style, hits Josh with a Katard in, which he started bleeding after that, but it was a 2 count. EY doing what he did last Thursday on Impact, pulling the canvas back to the exposed boards. Hitting a power driver, which Josh, kicked out. But he tried to go for another one. Josh went back for the ankle lock. Eric Young rolled out of it. Young had charged into Josh. Josh hit like a Uranagi Samoa Joe style. And he ended up hitting the C4 spike onto the boards, and to get the win to retain the world title.
Yeah, this got really, really good by the end, man. After the powder spot, like this turned up to 11, man, with that scary ass Olympic slam through the table, the pile driver on the boards. He kicked out, then he did his own, and like, yeah, this turned really good. I never really thought Eric Young was going to win, which kind of hurt the match, but that's like such a minute thing, like, because yeah, I thought these two had a really, really good match that in the end turned into something really special, man. Because yeah, you felt it. It was weird that some people were booing Josh. I don't know what was up with that. I guess they just wanted EY to win, which is also weird. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man. By the end of this, I was like, yeah, that was a hell of a match, man.
Agreed. Because going into this, I wasn't really excited when this was even going to be announced as the main event of Slammiversary. It's like, yeah, I couldn't get anyone else better than Eric Young. Like, don't get me wrong, Eric Young, yes, he is a TNA original. He has done a lot in this company from the get go and whatnot. So I understood why, but I felt like they could have got someone better to be in the main event. I know a lot of people were going for Morrissey, which I said myself, but he's gone from the company now, so yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. But I was like, man, they couldn't get anyone better than Eric Young. Like, don't get me wrong, the match ended up being really good, but I never really believed Eric Young was ever gonna win the title to begin with. Like,
Right.
it was never gonna happen. Okay, like I knew Josh was winning, and yes, it was cool to see all the TNA finishers being out there and stuff. But you knew Josh was going to win this match. Like I said, it ended up being a really good match. It's just like going into, I didn't really have much care, because I just like they did their best to try to make it look like Eric Young was gonna be a threat and everything. But in a way, it's just like I never believed he was gonna win.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I've got nothing different to say, man. Exactly what you said is exactly how I felt about it. Good stuff. All the moves were dope. I just never really thought, yeah, they're going to put the belt on EY right now. It never felt like that to me. So, yeah,
Agreed. So yeah, Josh winning. I was cool with him winning. Like I say, he was never gonna lose anyway, so I never really saw him losing the title. But yeah, the match ended up being really good though. Okay, I really did enjoy it, and it was a very good main event to close out the show.
yep,
Um, if I could grade this show, I know it's like a nostalgia. It definitely was a big nostalgia trip and everything. I give it like a B plus, damn near an A.
yeah. I'm
Like I
a
I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna go letters too, because after the double or nothing situation where people were like, "What? You gave this a 6.5 because that seems so low because it's out of 10." I'm gonna go letters too. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid B, man, because as somebody who watched a whole lot of TNA in the mid 2000s, man, this was something special, man. Like even matches that weren't like blow away or anything were carried by the whole vibe of what the show was, man. Like, and especially if you have on this card that Monsters Ball match, and then that Honor No More versus OG's tag match, and everything that went into that main event was really good. I yeah, I give it a solid B, man. I had a whole hell of a lot of fun on this, man.
Agreed. Like just from the people they brought back. Yes, we saw matches that didn't need to be, brought back, like the reverse battle royale and stuff. But I enjoyed everybody on. But yeah, I enjoyed everybody that showed back up, and it was some names I was surprised to see on here. Come back that they could even get and stuff. But yeah, come from someone that has watched TNA since 2005 when I first discovered it on Spike TV. Yes, I have watched this company for a very long time, through the best of times, through the worst of times, and that they are still here. Yes, it's been a lot of people that have came in and gone, but like I said, the fact that it's still honor the past, but still look forward to the future is still a great thing to see. Just from the names that have been there, from AJ Styles to Samoa Joe, from Daniels, Kazarian, Stain, Kurt Angle. I know it's a lot of names that have been in and out of the company, but James Storm, Bobby Roode. I wish they would have got a video package from him tonight. Gail Kim, Awesome Kong. Just a lot of moments and big things that have happened from, like you said, you can say the main event Mafia, Angle, Sting, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, and stuff being, that whole crew. Scott Steiner in general, just from the many promos he has put on throughout the years on there. But yeah, from Team 3D to you say the beautiful people, you can go from Bobby Lashley, you can go through the Wolves, go you could go through like I know his names I'm probably forgetting and stuff, but I'm just naming like a lot of the top names that have you know been out in and out of the company. Like I said, just it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot of names. You could go on, even go all the way back to the first episode. Yeah, come on. Ken Shamrock was their first world champion. Yeah, I know it was NWA TNA at the time, but yeah, he was still the first world champion there. From Scott Hall even showing up, getting a huge pop when he first got there. And many, big names. Some I know that may have not wanted to see from there, but we've seen people from Macho Man there to Hogan, Bischoff, Flair, Kevin Nash. Who else?
The Eli
Shit.
Drakes and Austin
Eli,
Aries
yeah,
and
Eli Drakes, Austin Aries.
Johnny Impacts and Drew McIntyre and
Yep. Drew MVP. Shit, it's a lot of names you could say that have been out of company, some that made a very big significant impact, but just everything from the announced teams, from the Pope, like I said, to Jeremy Borash, to Josh Matthews, from the channels they've been on, from Spike TV to Destination America to Pop TV to some hunting channel, if I'm not mistaken, to
yeah.
what else? Currently on Access TV, So it's a lot of things. I know I'm probably forgetting some things. So I'm just trying to name everything I can that just from the company's history to where they've been and where they are right now. I'm sure people wish that it hopefully it get better. I still feel like because listen, my friend Kyle, he likes TNA and everything. He likes Impact right now. He thinks it's a very great solid wrestling show. He just wishes there was more money put into it and wish it was on a better channel because everybody don't have access TV like that. Okay. And
Nope.
honestly, I wish Impact would do a. When is the last time Impact does a live show? Yeah, we know pay-per-views are live and all that stuff, but when have they actually? When is the last time they've done a live TV episode instead of being taped? Because I feel like I haven't seen that in a very, very long time. So, like I said, it's a lot of things you can name here. Take this for a second. I gotta answer the door.
Yeah, man, he's right on the money, man. TNA, they've been here for so long, man, and we've seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, man. Me personally, I couldn't stand that whole Hulk Hogan era, and that was before we hated Hulk Hogan, right? We just didn't like Hulk Hogan because of what he was doing on TV, you know. That whole, the aces and eights and all that, like the goods, the bads, man. TNA is like that old adage: when the world blows up, there's going to be cockroaches and TNA left, man. So from the Brian Cages and all those people who came and went, man, from Booker T's, and it's always going to hold a special place in my heart, man. And like he said, if they had the backing to really be a force, man, it would be so dope to have a third huge promotion in North America, man, because Impact has been here, man, and unfortunately, that period that just took them down to a level just kept them at that level. They were never able to go any higher than that and become more prolific like an AEW, man. Because I mean, like people are saying now about, oh, they wish WWE went out of business and everything, and but then it would just be one guy in Tony Khan running wrestling, and we don't want that. If TNA had that build to be that third brand, man, where wrestlers can leave WWE or AEW would come to TNA and be something, that shit would be fire, man. And I hope in these next 20 years, because they're gonna be here for another 20, they don't die, that they get to that level because they deserve to, man. They got a whole bunch of talent, and it's really for me the most consistently built television show in terms of professional wrestling right now. So I hope they get to prominence again.
I definitely agree with you. Like you say, it's been decisions that have been bad. I personally felt like it was a bad sign, especially when AJ and Sting left the company. I always thought that was a bad sign. I know people said when Hogan was brought in, that's when everything changed. But when I felt when Sting and AJ left, that's when I started to kind of get worried where this was gonna kind of go in at one point and stuff. So yeah, people have preyed on their downfall for a very long time. People use the LOL TNA, meme online. They've done that for years. But hey, they're still alive, folks. Like I said, they're not going anywhere. We don't want it to end up, kind of like what happened to Ring of Honor. And people thought Ring of Honor would still like we already know where they're at, right? They're technically quote unquote alive, but they're owned by somebody else. So they're owned by another wrestling company and everything. So,
Yeah, and
you
while
know,
you were gone, I was saying, man, like two
or some
people
of it.
owning all the wrestling is not good.
Yeah, because it's only like two big wrestling companies in America and whatnot right now. Everybody else is damn near an indie or somewhat of a smaller promotion. It's like there are people like MLW or the NWA around. I'm not trying to discredit them, but it's like how many people are really watching that or going to the shows or even like I even just paying attention to it in general and stuff. And yes, Ring of Honor, they've been around for 20 years also, but look what unfortunately happened to them. Come on, and people thought that was gonna be bigger and stuff, and they done a lot of great things too. But once again, bad decision making unfortunately put them in the position they are in right now. Because some people I know will sit there and tell you that Ring of Honor is just basically dead to them. It's just being on I don't even know if I want to say life support, but they say it's dead. It's owned by another company now. Like, yes, Impact is still here and everything, but like you said, we wish there were better decisions. Listen, Anthem has money, okay, but then again, how much money are they putting into the company like that? Because they did they do own Access TV now, if I'm not mistaken. And don't get me wrong, Impact they've made very good moves in the past few years. We've seen them working with New Japan again and other promotions and stuff. Maybe not AEW anymore, but we see them working with like I said, other promotions and bringing people in, or at least trying to sign people from the indies that people know about and some good names. Because it used to be the whole, well, TNA just signing former WWE people that as soon as they leave, they end up over here, and then they only last a couple months until they go on and do whatever. Because people always had a problem with the three WWE guys making the world champion because we can't believe in the current guy we got. So like I said, it's a lot of names that have came in and come out to, like I've said, I know I'm probably forgetting some, and some pop in my head right now, like come on, the Hardys, and the whole, come on, let's remember the whole broken deletion thing. If everybody remembers that, because I know a lot of people that did enjoy that at the time. Because like I said, there's been a lot of bad periods. I still think one of the worst periods was the Global Force Wrestling part. That's what I felt that was one of the worst parts too, until they got rid of Jarrett at the time, but.
Yeah, there
Like I
are three
said,
of those bad moments. That's just
oh yeah,
one. Like we mentioned, the Aces and Eights era and Hulk Hogan
Hogan.
and Eric Bischoff and all that. Like they've had a couple.
They've had a lot of bad decision making and stuff also, but like I said, they've made stars out of people that you currently watch today, whether they be in Impact right now or in a different company, from either the WWE or AEW, or even if they were in ROH or New Japan. You know, you have seen them in TNA at some point, or as an original, or anything. So, like I said, it's many things we could sit here and name, from the matches to the moments. Like I said, it's a very big milestone for them to even make it 20 years in general. Because, like I said before, a lot of people have prayed on their downfall for a pretty long time now, okay, and wishing they just go away. But no, they are still here, and they are still going. So yeah, I enjoyed this show. It was a great nostalgia trip and everything, and to honor the past and look forward to the future. But it's like you said, like a lot of people I know also, you just kind of wish, like, yeah, can we get some more money, like, or something? Like, it would be nice if they had a better TV deal. It really would. If I would like if they go back. Well, it's not Spike TV anymore. It's called the Paramount Network. But come on, it would be kind of hard to find a channel that's really going to take wrestling like that. Because let's remember, like, TNA didn't start off on a $1 billion thing like AEW and stuff. Okay, like, come on, this was out of what, Jeff Jarrett and Toby Keith, if I remember. He had a lot of money put into the company at the time of how it first started, and until the whole Penn and Energy and Dixie Carter came into play. So it's been a lot of different money backers. Like I said before, Anthem has money, but how much money are they putting into the company?
Said the same thing about Ring of Honor with Sinclair, man. Just because they have it doesn't mean they're putting it to wrestling.
Yeah, Sinclair's a $1 billion company. How much money did they put in the Ring of Honor, huh? They said, think about that. And look what happened. Look what happened. So, you know, it depends if they are a big priority and everything. So, like I said, it's nice that they're still here. And it's, one personal thing I can say is I'm glad they got out of the impact zone. I'm very glad they got out of Orlando and stuff, because it was getting to the point where it's like it's the same people in the crowd every week. Not because it's tape, but it's literally the same people at every show.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of glad they've been back on the road for the past few years and moving around again. Yeah, I know it's not the biggest venues and stuff, but hey, it's still making money, and you still bring in you know names that are pretty big in wrestling, no matter whose company it is.
Yep. And one thing before we wrap up, shout out to Monty Brown. He should have beat Jeff Jarrett, and I'm going to forever say that.
Oh yeah, yeah. He should have been a star. Now that's a guy that really should have been a star. I remember him, the Pounce.
That was that nigga, bro.
He was. I even thought he was gonna be big in WWE when he went over there for the time being. But I know he left because he had it was like family problems. I know, and I think he ended up having to take care of his sister's kids, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that there's a guy I always thought that really really could have been big at the time, especially with the people they had him going against from Rhino to Christian Cage,
They
Sting
missed
and
the boat,
others.
man. He should have beat Jeff Jarrett. I'm about to say,
Yeah,
I'm gonna forever say it.
because especially that's they said at that time. That was the people talk about the reign of terror with Triple H. That was the reign of terror with Jeff Jarrett at the time.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point to think right there because yeah he should have been a world champion. Most definitely agreed on that. Like I said, there's many names I could think of too. Like I'm not gonna go through all of them right now, but there's a lot of names I feel like that could have been the world champion. Shit, I'll say Matt Morgan could have been world champion.
Sure.
The 7 foot stuttering palm tree.
Right.
But yeah. But yeah, that's mostly everything I could say about this show. Enjoyable pay per view. I recommend going back to watch it. If anyone has not yet, but other than that, we are done with this review. You got anything to plug before we get up out here?
Nah, just same old, man. Praise the low on Twitter. That's OLOAE. Praise the low. Shout out all my DL Elite boys. Father's Day just passed, so shout out all of those in the group. That's dads. Shout out to dads in general. Shout out to all my people, man, because Juneteenth just passed too. So yeah, that's it, man. We out here.
Yep, definitely happy Juneteenth and happy Father's Day. I know it was yesterday, but I'm still saying it just because, okay? But yeah, other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Hooded Knight 890. Next week, well, I don't know if it's gonna be a review for that Forbidden Door because I'm possibly going to that show next week. So we'll see what happens with that. But even I
Prepare
doubt
for
it's
that
gonna
to
be.
be dumb long, bro.
Oh yeah, that feel like yeah, that's gonna go on for a while, and I mean a long while. Okay, so
And I
better get
better
that
not see
coffee.
you in the crowd cheering for Orange Cassidy.
Oh,
Cause all the shit you talking, I better not see you on TV. You cheering them, bro.
trust me, I won't. I won't. All my money's on Osprey. Okay, I'm Osprey guy. So there you go. But other than that, we out.